Hello everybody, this is Mr. Robin. Welcome back to episode number 48 of the Seattle Mariners franchise here on MLB The Show 23 as we're back in the ALCS with games 3 and 4 today as the series shifts to T-Mobile Park in Seattle. Hope you guys have enjoyed this series as it's been a fun one, but we're currently down 2-0 to the Toronto Blue Jays. We dropped both games in Toronto, 9-2 in the first one. It wasn't close before an unfortunate 2-1 loss in Game 2. Logan Gilbert will take the mound for the Mariners today in Game 3 back at home. He had a very good first start in the ALDS against the Guardians, and Bo with the flow. Bichette will lead off for the Blue Jays. Very excited for this one. Make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content as Bo Bichette begins the game with a strikeout. Going to bring up Santiago Espinal, who swings and misses at a slider running away. Blue Jays rocking with the same lineup they did in both Games 1 and Games 2, which means Vladdy's up next, and he also will go down, this time looking, and Gilbert starts the game off by striking out the side. Chris Bassitt on the mound for the Toronto Blue Jays. You can see his numbers in his first start. Had a very good game in his ALDS matchup against the New York Yankees. Dylan Moore will lead off for the Mariners. 174 is not the best average, and he'll begin the game by chopping the first pitch he sees over to short, and Bichette will throw him out at first. And we'll take a look at the Mariners lineup in this one. A little bit different, as there is no Colton Wong currently nursing an injury, so Sam Haggerty will get the start at second base today. Averages are not right, but the order is. J.P. Crawford's up next, and he will apparently get called for a strike 3. Crowd doesn't like the call, but sinker catches the corner. And then Ty France up next, 1-2 pitch, golfs a sinker into left, but it'll be caught out there for the third out. We'll go into the top of the fourth now, where George Springer will step to the dish for the Toronto Blue Jays. He'll go down looking. Fastball catches the corner. That's the fourth strikeout of the day for Logan Gilbert. That'll bring up Danny Jansen, who doubled back in the second. He's had a very good postseason, but he can't connect on the nasty 12-6, and Gilbert is throwing some dominant pitches. Cedric Mullins is up next. He got hit by a pitch back in the second. That's the third time he's been hit in this series, but he won't be hit here as he also looks at a 12-6 curve. Gilbert's striking out 6 batters, and, well, they've come in sweeps innings. Bottom 5, though, the Mariners haven't had any offense in this game. Sam Haggerty will pop this one up for the catcher for the first out. A.J. Pollock up next, 1-2. Nice pitch by Bassitt on the corner, and he'll get him to ground out to second for out number 2. That'll bring up the 8-hitter Cal Raleigh, the catcher. 0-1 pitch to him, and he dribbles this one over the first base line. Bassitt's going to put the tag, and Bassitt has a no-hitter through 5 innings. We'll go top 6, top of the order again for the Blue Jays as Bichette, the Silver Slugger, will step into the dish. He did get a single in his last at-bat, and he'll do the same here in this one. Another base hit, this time a blooper into right, and the Blue Jays have a leadoff batter. Santiago Espinal up next. It's a hit and run, but it's not going to work out as Haggerty will glove it, but Bichette will retreat safely to first. How about Vladdy Jr. up next, 0-2, and he's going to be 0-3. Second time he's called looking at the fastball load today. So that's now 2 outs for George Springer, who gets a nice fastball to hit, but just pops it up in the center. And Gilbert goes 6 shutout innings. Going to the 7th, Diego Castillo will come in relief. Gilbert will be benched for the rest of the game with their 6 great innings. You'd love to see the offense give him some runs, but they were unable to do so. Castillo gets the 7th, and he strikes out Danny Jansen on a nasty slider, just locks him up. Edgar Mullins back up to the plate. 0-2 pitch to Mullins. Fastball plunks him on the back. That's the 4th time Mullins has been hit in this series. This is only the 3rd game. Next batter, Matt Chapman will swing and miss on a nasty slider running away. Mariners pitchers doing a very good job locating their pitches when they're not plunking Mullins, as another batter goes down swinging. We need some base hits, though. Bottom 7, the Mariners still hitless in this ball game. Ty France, the first one to the plate. First pitch swing in. It's a sinker over to short, as Bassitt has done a great job just locating his pitches. Next up is Julio Rodriguez, 0-1 pitch, and this one will get some grass in right field. The first base hit of the ball game is J-Rod. So he's on first base with 1 out. Now we just need some more. Hernandez up next. Fastball high in the zone. He just skies it to center where Cedric Mullins will get underneath it for out number 2. Brings up the second baseman today, Sam Haggerty. First pitch, Rodriguez is going to go for the second base, but it's actually going to be a hit and run as well, and it's going to be a good one because this one's in the gap, and Rodriguez will score with ease, and the Mariners have the lead. They have 2 hits in this ball game, but it's been the 2 best hits they could have got as they lead 1-0. A.J. Pollock up next. He'll ground this one over to Bichette, so that'll end the 7th. But the Mariners now have a lead, which means they can go into the 8th and turn it over to their setup man and Paul Sewald, making his 5th appearance of the postseason. 2.25 ERA in those 4 innings. He'll begin against the 9-hole hitter Whit Merrifield, who's ground out twice today. He's actually going to try to lay down a bunt, but Sewald quickly there puts him out at first for the first out of the 8. Nice hustle by the pitcher. Bichette up next to the plate, and he's also going to swing and miss again. Another strikeout for this Mariners pitching squad, and that'll bring up Santiago Espinal, who's had a very bad series. 1 for 11. Let's make it 1 for 12. Fastball swing and a miss. Another strikeout. And we're going to go into the bottom of the 8th. Try to put a little bit more insurance runs for our closer. We're going to have to do it against the lefty Tim Meza, who comes in relief. We'll start off against the catcher and Cal Raleigh. 1-1 pitch to Raleigh, and he's going to golf this one to center, and it's going to one-hop in front of Mullins. Third base hit of the day for the Mariners. It's a leadoff one here. That'll bring us to the bottom of the lineup. Robinson Cano, who's not been a great hitter at all in the postseason. He strikes out again. First one out now for the top of the order. Dylan Moore, 4-6-3, so we'll not get any more insurance runs. But we'll give a 1-run lead to Andres Munoz, the all-star closer, who's had himself a heck of a season. 3rd in the AL with 51 saves. He's been perfect in the postseason. Vladdy Jr. will begin the day for him. He's struck out twice today, and here's the hat trick. Slider running away, gets him again. He's frustrated. He throws the bat. Next up, George Springer. This time the slider too high in the zone. He hits it on the left field chalk, and Pollock's actually going to take a tumble. Springer's going to get to second, so that's a little worrisome. A 1-out double for Springer puts the tying run just 2 bases away. Danny Jansen up next. Chopper through the right side of the infield, and Springer's got some speed, and he is going to score. The Blue Jays tie it up. Munoz blows the save. And now you got to worry about the runner on first. The Cedric Mullins will then rip this one into right center. This is going to go all up against the wall. Jansen's going to third. He's going to round it. He's coming home. The throw is offline. The Blue Jays have the lead. An RBI double for Cedric Mullins. Maybe we should plunk him more often. He's actually going to try to take third. I don't know why he would do that on Chapman at the plate, as he's gunned down with ease. And then the next pitch, Chapman 0-2, swings and misses the slider. But the Blue Jays have taken the lead, and that's not good news for the Mariners, because they're going to turn it over to the best closer in baseball this season. Jordan Romano had an MLB best 56 saves in the regular season. He's added 2 more here in the postseason, including one in Game 2. He's going to start off Game 3 by getting Crawford to pop up for Danny Jansen. Ty France up next. 0 for 3 today, 0 for 4. It has been a postseason to forget for him, which means our Game 3 hopes lie in the hands of Julio Rodriguez. He does have one of our 3 hits today. He's been our best hitter in the postseason. 0-2 to J-Rod, swing and a miss on the inside fastball, and the Blue Jays take Game 3. Final score, 2-1. They steal one here at T-Mobile Park. The home fans are stunned. The Blue Jays fans that have crossed the border into Washington are ecstatic. Now the Mariners, they got to do the reverse sweep. We're now down 3-0 in the series. We got to win 4 straight against one of the best teams in baseball this season. You can take a look at the box score here. Just a stunner, man. Munoz has been an incredible closer this year, and he just has one bad game, and now the Blue Jays are 1 game away from sending us home in a sweep fashion. Now, on the other side of things, the NL, the Dodgers, they beat the Padres 6-5 in 10 innings, as Taylor has homered twice. Out of the 4 games in the NLCS, 3 of them are gone to extra, so if you've been watching that series, you've been in for some incredible baseball. We have no time, though, to sulk on our loss, because you got to play the next day, and we got to avoid going home. If we lose this next game, we could go home in this episode. And it's Game 4 here at T-Mobile Park, and this is an interesting one because the Blue Jays fans are in the house. A lot of Canadians from Vancouver have crossed into Seattle, Washington, and the Blue Jays, they're trying to end this one here now in front of those fans. They're rocking the all-powder blues here on the road, trying to make a statement and end this now. They'll have to do it against the former AL Cy Young Award winner Robbie Ray, who's on the bump for the Mariners. He'll begin against Bo Bichette, and he'll line this one right over to Moore at third for the first out of the ball game. Lefty on the mound for the Mariners, though. The Blue Jays mixing their lineup up a little bit. We'll see Alejandro Kirk for the first time in the ALCS. He's starting at catcher instead of Danny Jansen. And then Chapman, Varsho, Mullins, and Merrifield just switching up the 6 through 9 spots a little bit. Santiago Espinal up next, who's been ice cold this series, launches one to center, and Julio Rodriguez with his elite range will catch that one. Vladdy Guerrero Jr. up next, struck out 3 times in Game 3. He's going to begin Game 4 with a single into center field for a 2-out base hit. That'll bring up George Springer 1-2. He'll pop this one into foul territory, and this one will be caught to end the top of the first. On the mound for the Blue Jays in this game is Jose Berrios, making his first ALCS, first playoff appearance in this year. He'll start off against Dylan Moore. 2-2 counts, and he's going to lift a slurve into left center. A very hittable pitch, but it'll be caught out there by Varsho. And here's a look at how the Mariners will line up. A little bit of switch. We'll see Cano playing second base today. Ty France is the DH. And at first base, for the first time this playoffs, it's Evan White getting the nod. He played in about 30 games in the regular season for the Mariners. Just trying to switch things up at the bottom of the order. J.P. Crawford up next is going to pull a fastball into the right field where it'll be caught by Springer. That'll bring up Ty France, only hitting 120 this postseason, and this will help. A 1-1 fastball hit into left center, and it's going to get down in front of Mullins for a 2-out base hit of their own. That'll bring up Julio Rodriguez hitting a nice 370 in the postseason. He's going to lift the fastball to the right, but it'll be caught by Springer, and both teams scoreless through 1. We'll go to top 2. We'll get our first look at Alejandro Kirk in the postseason. He's hit 400 in the ALDS, so a very good game for him. And he's going to lift an 0-1 pitch into deep center field, and this one's going to clear the wall. Alejandro Kirk, welcome to the ALCS. A solo shot into center field, 417, and he strikes first for Toronto. 1-0 in favor of the Blue Jays. Next batter is Matt Chapman, 3-2 pitch to the Silver Slugger. He'll chop this one over to Cano, who will make the play. Next up, Dalton Varsho, 0-2 pitch to him, and he looks at strike 3, so Ray trying to settle down here in the second. That brings up Cedric Mullins' full count pitch, and he will draw a walk. So again, Mullins gets on base by not swinging the bat. He's now at second base after a stolen base, but with Merrifield won't be able to bring him home as he pops this one up into left center to end the half inning. We'll stay with Toronto top 3. Bo Bichette now at the dish, and he's going to lift a 2-2 pitch into left field. Pollock, though, is able to get underneath it for out number 1. Santiago Espinal, 0-2 pitch to him. He pulls a sinker into foul territory, and Robbie Ray actually gets hurt on this play. Not sure what the injury is, but he's going to have to come out of the game. So we're going to have to bring in Marco Gonzalez, cold turkey, for his first appearance of the postseason. He was a long reliever this year, suffered a shoulder injury, missed a couple of months. But he's going to be called upon to come out of the bullpen, and he gets Espinal to finish the at-bat with a line out to left. Vladdy Guerrero Jr. up next, draws a circle change low for ball 4. So he's on first, 2 away for George Springer, who also looks at ball 4. So Gonzalez, not so easy getting out of the third. No warm-up pitches were thrown before this one, and he gives Kirk a hanging 12-6, who lifts it to deep center, but Rodriguez just has enough space to get underneath it. That one was dangerous. Let's go bottom 3. Evan White, his first plate appearance of the postseason, and he's going to begin it with a single up the middle. He chops a slur right at the middle, and Evan White has himself a leadoff hit. Back to the top of the lineup, Dylan Moore, circle change right down the middle. Good timing. That's one you want to have back. As Moore just instead pops it up for Kirk. Crawford up next, draws a walk. So now 2 on, 1 out for Ty France. Hasn't been a good postseason hitter, but he's still Mr. Clutch, except for this instance. 4-6-3, that's how you end the third. Another wasted opportunity for the Mariners offense. Top 4 now, Blue Jays at the plate, specifically Matt Chapman. He lifts a 1-1 cutter into center and over the fence. Matt Chapman, the Silver Slugger third baseman, golfs one to center for his second homer of the postseason. Not a bad pitch by Marco Gonzalez, but Chapman's he knows how to hit the baseball. And he takes a cutter down in the zone over the center field fence. 2-0 Blue Jays. Dalton Varsho up next, full count to him. He's going to slice this one into left field where it'll be caught by A.J. Pollock. Cedric Mullins now hitting .450 in the postseason. He swings and misses at a high fastball. 2 down now for Whit Merrifield, and he's going to pop this one up into shallow right where it looks like Cano is going to get there. Almost looked like he didn't, but he will to end the 4th. Let's go to the Mariners offense. Bottom 4 now. Julio Rodriguez begins the inning by perfectly timing a slurve. And this one's gone to deep center. Mullins gave it a good try, but Julio Rodriguez finally has his first postseason homer. He's been hitting the ball very well. He just hasn't been able to hit one over the fence until now. Solo shot gets the Mariners 1 run as they cut this lead in half, but it's still 2-1 in favor of the Birds. Next batter is Teoscar Hernandez, who apparently went around on a circle change in the dirt. He'll be thrown out for out number 1. Pollock up next, 2-2 pitch. High inside fastball. Tries to turn on it, but can't get enough of it. That's a lazily fly. Cal Raleigh now, 2-2 pitch to him, and he swings and misses a circle change in the dirt. But the Mariners do get 1. We're going to the 6th inning now, where Adam Simber, the submarine righty, will come in out of the pen as Barrios goes 5 strong innings for Toronto. J.P. Crawford will lead the way, walked back in the 3rd to get on base for his only time of the game, and he chops one up the middle, but it'll be thrown out at first base. Nice play by Espinal. Ty France up next. He gets jammed, and he gets this one caught by Guerrero Jr. I thought it was actually going to get by. Good glove by Vladdy Jr., and then almost the exact same play. Great flash of the leather out there at first, as that'll end the 6th. We'll go top 7. Cedric Mullins will step up to the plate. 2-2 pitch to him, and he gets locked up inside. Gonzalez still pitching here into the 7th. He started to settle down, had a very good 5th, had a very good 6th, and he's trying to continue it here in the 7th. He gets Merrifield to pop up for the 2nd out of the inning, which will take us to the top of the lineup. 0-1 pitch to Bo Bichette, and Bo will line this one right at Moore, and Gonzalez gets through the 7th. Anthony Bass will be in charge of the bottom half of the 7th inning for Toronto, making his 4th postseason appearance. He begins it against another former Blue Jay, and Teoscar Hernandez, who will lead off the 7th with a single into center, and that's the tying run. How about Pollock now? Full count pitch. Chopper through the left side of the infield, and that's back-to-back base hits for Seattle to begin the 7th. Can they get something going here? Cal Raleigh up next. 1-0 pitch, and he rips the slider into right center. Cal Raleigh comes through huge with a 3-run shot in the bottom of the 7th. His team leading 3rd home run of the postseason, and that flips the switch for the Seattle Mariners. They're now up 4-2 after one swing of the bat. 427. What a hit for Cal Raleigh. That could have saved the Mariners' season. That'll do it for Bass, as Zach Pop will come in relief, as Bass didn't even get one out here in the 7th. Robinson Cano up next, full count pitch. He draws a walk, so another base runner here for Seattle. That brings up Evan White, 2 for 2 on the day, but he swings at a nasty, well out of the zone slider. That's finally the first out. Moore up next. He gets another slider he could drive, but he lifts it, just gets underneath it to left for the 2nd out. Another pitch Moore wishes he had back. J.P. Crawford now, first pitch to him. Chopper in front of the plate. Kirk's going to have to charge this one. Tough play, but he gets it. But the Mariners now have the lead. They're going to go into the 8th, which means they're going to try to set it up with Brusdar Graterol making his first postseason appearance, acquired via trade from the Dodgers in July. He's looking to save the lead here as he gets one right back to him from Espinal, who still only has 1 hit this series. Vladdy Jr. up next. He's 2 for 2 today. He chops this one over to Cano, who fields it cleanly and gets the 2nd out. George Springer now 2-0 count, and it's hit into right, so Graterol can't go 1-2-3 through the heart of the lineup. That'll bring up Alejandro Kirk, who already has 1 homer today, but he pops up a cutter into foul territory, and that'll be the end of the 8th. The Mariners have 1 more inning to go. But they're going to try to get some insurance runs off of a former teammate, and Eric Swanson, who comes in with 2 postseason appearances, yet to surrender an earned run. He'll begin the day with a pop-up from France into center, where it'll be caught by Mullins. Swanson would actually get hurt on the next at-bat, so Yimi Garcia will come in, and he has to come out of the bullpen cold turkey against Julio Rodriguez. That's a tough draw. 3-1 pitch, and well, Rodriguez is going to make him pay. Takes this one into right field for another base hit, so he's on first base with elite speed. Teoscar Hernandez up next, 0-2 pitch to him, and slider's going to go all the way to the backstop, which means Rodriguez is going to take second with ease. And now a double play is no longer in order. Runner in scoring position as well off the wild pitch, and Hernandez will chop this one down the third base line and immediately make Toronto pay. That's going to be an RBI single for Teoscar Hernandez, and now the Mariners lead by 3. Still not done with the inning. Pollock gets jammed, but pokes this one into right field. And Hernandez, with aggressive base running, is going to go all the way to third and beat the throw. Great base running there by Teoscar. Good heads-up play. So now runners on the corners for Cal Raleigh, who draws a walk. So bases loaded, 1 out, but it's Robinson Cano. He doesn't have a postseason hit, and he's not going to get one here, but Bichette can't make the play. That should have been an inning-ending double play. Instead, it eats him up. That's an E6, so he still doesn't get a base hit. But it's now 6-2 Mariners, and now the Blue Jays will have to turn it over to the lefty Tim Meza. His first batter is Evan White, and he's going to swing at the first pitch and launch this one to left, back at the track, and is caught. So it was inches away from a grand slam. But it will allow the Mariners to tag on one more. They now lead 7-2. This game's just gotten away from Toronto as Dylan Moore then gets a nice pitch to hit, lifts it to straightaway center where it will be caught. But now the Blue Jays have a 5-run deficit in the ninth where Paul Sewald will come in relief. Gratterall did walk the first batter of the inning, so he'll inherit a runner on first. But he'll get Dalton Varsho to swing through the 94-mile-an-hour heater for out number 1. Cedric Mullins, the former Baltimore Oriole acquired at the deadline, steps to the plate. 0-2 pitch to him. Chopper right back to Sewald. He'll go to second. He'll go to first. So actually Mullins beats the throw. So the game not over yet. But Wilt Merrifield will step up next, and he'll swing through a 93 fastball. And now the game is over, and the Mariners survive. They win by a final score of 7-2, so they don't get swept. But they got to do this 3 more times, as Robbie Ray looks like he's okay, which is a good sign. But 1 down, 3 to go. The Mariners, they played good baseball. Pitching did well. Gonzalez was rough coming out of the pen at the beginning, but once he finally got some warm-up pitches, he really did very well. And the offense came alive late in the game. First time this postseason we've actually had double-digit hits, which is exciting. And it came for a solid win. Julio Rodriguez gets player of the game, but we just can't lose. So next game will be Game 5, which will be here at Seattle, and then we'll have 2 more in Toronto. Meanwhile, in the NLCS, the Padres take the lead. They win by a score of 1-0 in Game number 5, which means they lead 3-2 out there in the National League, while we're down 3-1. Now, since every game's an elimination game, I'm only going to be doing 1 game per episode from now on. So next episode, we'll have Game number 5. Well, right now it's scheduled to be Mitch White versus Chris Flex, and we'll have to see if that's actually the matchup. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.